I'm actually greeting you from the top of a hotel across from the Acropolis, and I'm setting this on a ledge. Yesterday I was up there and actually filmed, but because of the wind it was so difficult to hear that I'm trying to redo this, and hopefully one of these will work. Again, Athens, Greece, ancient capital, some would say, of the world. Mars Hill, there to the right as you view, named after Mars, the god of war. Made famous for believers in about 50 AD when the Apostle Paul, traveling through this pagan city, stood there before the ruling council, the Areopagus. And interestingly, another historian said that in Athens there were more gods than there were people. They were that polytheistic. Well, as he stood, he began to point out that as he walked across this vast city, even then, he had seen several altars dedicated to the unknown God. And in Acts 17, he preaches the sermon to say, well, that which you worship in ignorance, I tell you who he is. I give his identity. And of course, speaking of the biblical God of creation. In that day, it was actually illegal to present a new God without sanction. And so he was very wise as a missionary to find a bridge in their culture. And in fact, as you read and we talk about contextualization, that is one of the challenges we have still in secular Europe and around the world with different contexts, is how to make the unchangeable gospel understandable for the people in a given culture, in a given city. And so this is the place where he preached that famous sermon in Acts 17. And interestingly, the responses were the same as today. There were three, as you go back and read that passage. Some sneered at him, some rejected him, some believed, it said, and others said, we will hear more later. So basically the same responses in Europe today. Yes, no, and maybe, or we'll talk later. And so I just pray as you see the Acropolis, as you see this vast city today, that you will pray for